Hey Taurus, thank you for joining me. This is your horoscope for June 2017. It is really nice to be with you. Now, from the 24th of May, going through until the 10th of June, your ruler Venus begins to conjunct Uranus. A conjunction is when two planets move together and they blend their energies together. So Venus is in Aries in your 12th house. It's far more aggressive than it usually would be. And it is sitting on top of that Uranus, the rebel, the eccentric, also in Aries in your 12th house. And what this really does for you is it makes you far more likely to take risks and to overcome obstacles and to make changes than you usually would be. Things feel a bit lighter than they usually would, and you have the ability to make changes that you decide to make. And it doesn't feel traumatic, and it doesn't feel like, oh, I really just want to stay and keep things as they are. If you want to make changes in your life, my dear Taurus, whether it's your work or your relationships or where you live, we all know that Taurus struggles with change sometimes. These first 10 days of June are really going to help you and support you with that. If you want to make changes, if you must make changes, those 10 days are going to be the time when it's easiest for you. On the 5th of June, we've got Mars moving into Cancer, and it stays in Cancer all month. Mars is in your 3rd house of communication. Mars is not particularly happy in Cancer. Mars is about moving forward and driving things forward. It's the ruler of Aries. So it's like, let's march. It's the archetypal male principle. In Cancer, it's much more focused on the emotions. So you may be a little bit frustrated that your communication seems to be very emotional this month. You may feel much more that your emotions come into your life, and you may be surprised, or you may surprise yourself, that you talk about your feelings much more openly and much more freely, and you're not as guarded. So be careful around that this month. If you're someone who has genuine skeletons in the closet that you want to keep to yourself, Mars in Cancer, that sense of frustration, it will make you more likely to communicate and to share personal things, just to try and get rid of them. In the 12 steps, they say that you're only as sick as your secrets, okay? Secrets keep you sick. So if there are things that you now want to talk about, choose a trusted advisor, choose someone who you've known for 20, 30 years, someone who is really, really trustworthy, someone who you know isn't going to gossip. And if you do want to get something off your chest, this is a good time to do that, because Mars will allow you to feel those feelings. It will force you to look at those feelings. You can share those with someone else and lighten the load. On the 6th of June, your chart ruler Venus, it goes into, hooray, it goes into your sign of Taurus, and it stays in Taurus all month. Okay, so that's really beautiful. Venus is the planet of love and beauty, and when it's in your sign of Taurus, you feel so comfortable in your own skin. You enjoy your environment, you enjoy the time of the year. Things seem much easier for you around this time of the year. And Venus going into Taurus is Aphrodite, the goddess of love, being in your sector, being on your side, being on your team, okay? So there'll be an immediate sense of self-love, much more positive feelings towards yourself, because Venus isn't just love towards other people, it's love in all aspects of life. So you'll start to feel much better within yourself, and Mercury is also in Taurus in that 1st house. So the communication planet is also on your side. Communicating the way you like to communicate is supported. So that lasts all month. Make the most of it. And when I say make the most of it, I would suggest you go into situations which usually make you nervous or which make you uncomfortable, because you're so much more at peace within yourself. If you're afraid of asking out to a man or a woman who you find attractive, try it out during this period, because it's not going to be as scary as it usually would be. Venus really supports you. On the 7th of June, going through all the way until the 21st of June, Mercury moves into Gemini. Mercury goes into your 2nd house of money and belongings, And this is now a big theme here. From the 7th of June until the 21st of June, Taurus, you have a huge ability to make a lot of money, to be financially prosperous, and to bring prosperity and abundance into your life. You've got Mercury in Gemini, you're transiting midheaven, which is work, and your Sun, which is your identity, also in Gemini, all in your second house. So for you, you're going to have loads and loads of ideas, and you're going to be very inspired about how you can make money. And if you implement those things from the 7th to the 21st, you're really supported by Mercury, and it's very likely that you can create prosperity for yourself. So money-wise, you are really blessed here for 2 weeks in June to really increase your finances. So if you want a chunk of money to save up to pay off a bill or to go on holiday, there are ideas that will come in here that will allow you to make a specific chunk of money. It's not like fundamentally changing the way you work or fundamentally changing your career. It's ideas and inspiration of how to quickly earn some extra money and how to improve and increase your income. On the 9th of June, we have the full moon in Sagittarius. Now, I will make a separate video on the full moon and new moon. I do every month because they are complex, and I will go into more depth. In your case, the full moon in Sagittarius happens in your 8th house. So there's some sort of progress when it comes to the institution you belong to. If you're an employee, if you work in a volunteer, as a volunteer in some sort of charity organization, or you're part of a group, you will make progress during this full moon. So either your status becomes elevated, or you get a promotion, or something positive happens to you in the groups that you belong to around the full moon. From the 16th of June, going through until the 22nd of November, so pretty much the rest of the year, Neptune, the planet of dreams and aspirations, goes retrograde. Okay? Neptune is in your 11th house of hopes and dreams, and Neptune is hopes and dreams in itself. It's aspirations and dreams. It's very happily placed in Pisces. So Neptune in your 11th, it gives you the ability to dream about what you would like your life to be. It gives you the ability to say, where would I like to see myself in a year from now? Where would I like to be in 5 or 10 years from now? And to really visualize those things very clearly, and then to start working towards them. It's so important to do that because 5 years can be over very quickly like that. And if you make a plan to have done something in 5 years, it's a much more informed way of living because you're actually planning how you're progressing. So the other thing about this is that Neptune goes retrograde on this day. And Neptune is passive anyway. It receives information. When it's in retrograde and it appears to be going backwards, it becomes even more passive. It becomes even more receptive. So your intuition and this ability to visualize your future and how you would like life to be really does become stronger and is heightened. So use that. Make a vision board, write it down, put some goals down for yourself, and then it's just important to have those there because then you can choose what you want to work on, when and where and how. Also on the 16th until the 5th of July, Mars begins to trine Neptune. Mars is frustrated in that 3rd house, and remember the emotional communication side there, but that works very well with Neptune because unlike other times where you're focusing on the physical and you get inspiration through the material side of things, Mars kind of forces you to connect with the unmanifest, to visualize and to see your future in your mind's eye. That's called manifestation. Look into that. Set the goals, and then you will start to get guidance via the universe and Neptune in retrograde, which is receptive, which will allow you to then implement the things that you want to achieve. The universe will show you what you need to do, what steps to take to get to where you want to go. So that retrograde and Mars trining that retrograde Neptune is a real blessing that allows you to plan ahead. On the 21st of June, going through until the 6th of July, Mercury moves into Cancer. And Mercury is the communication planet. It moves into Cancer in your 3rd house. And now the emotional side of things and the emotional communication becomes even more heightened. So again, make sure what you reveal to a specific person, it's really important. Don't go to a dinner party and start telling your deepest, darkest secrets and then become the talk of the town. If you do have something that you want to keep private, the astrology is urging you to just open up and share. So the best way to use that energy then, this emotional stuff, I wouldn't go out and tell everybody my personal secrets. I would use that to be creative and to write and to communicate and to express and to really tell the story, but without revealing your identity, so you can create something wonderful, you can get it off your chest, but you're not putting your own self at risk, or you're not causing yourself additional problems. That lasts until the 6th of July, so it's 2 weeks of really wanting to communicate emotionally. Be aware of that. The end of the month, 24th of June, we have the new moon in Cancer, so that's pulling in this energy. It's pulling in Cancer energy in your 3rd house. So this tendency to communicate emotionally is going to continue into July. Be aware of that and just make sure that you're clear on what you reveal and who you're revealing it to. So that's what I get for you in June. I hope that gives you something to go on. If you would like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. I can draw up your birth chart using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can use sunrise or rectify your chart. And then we can look at what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, what's coming up in future. I look at your progress chart and your transits to see what's coming up in your love life, your health, career, money, anything you're interested in at all. You can book the reading on gregoryscott.com. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you want to support me, just hit that subscribe button. It's the easiest way to support me, and I'll speak to you next month.